Everyone thinks being productive means remembering everything, keeping it all loaded in your head, ready to fire. That's not productive. That's just running really bad software. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain right now is a browser, and you have about 1,000 tabs open. One tab is Email Mom Back. One tab is a weird noise your car has been making since March. One tab is a work deadline. One tab is just a tab. You don't even know what it is anymore. It's just open, quietly eating your memory in the background. And browsers with 1,000 tabs open don't run faster because you're ignoring the tabs. They run slower. Everything lags. That's you at 11 p.m. staring at the ceiling, suddenly remembering you never replied to that email from June. So here's the actual fix, and it's almost insultingly simple. Your brain is not a filing cabinet. It is a processor. It's supposed to think, not store. The second you try to use a processor as storage, everything gets slow and everything gets forgotten. So step 1 is just this: get every single tab out of your head and onto a screen where it can't quietly drain your battery anymore. Write it all down. Every task, every every half-formed idea about redoing your garden. Doesn't matter how small. If it's an open tab in your brain, close it by writing it somewhere else. Not because writing is magic, because now it exists outside your skull, and your skull can finally stop babysitting it. Okay, so now you've got a giant pile of tabs sitting in a list. Chaos. This is where most people quit, because a big, scary list feels worse than the mess in their head. But here's the trick. You don't have to do anything on that list yet. You just have to ask one boring question about each one. What is the next physical action here? Not plan vacation. That's not an action, that's a vibe. The action is open the calendar app, not fix car noise. The action is call the mechanic. Once you know the tiny next click, the tab stops being scary. It's just a task now. A small, dumb, doable task. And once you know what each tab actually needs, sort it. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just close it right now. Don't even file it. If it's not your job, hand the tab to someone else and put a little sticky note on it that says who. If it needs multiple steps, that's not a tab anymore. That's basically its own separate browser window. Call it a project, give it a folder, and if it's a maybe later, not now idea, don't delete it, just bookmark it. Somewhere you'll actually look again. This is the part people skip, and it's the part that actually works. Once a week, you have to clean the browser, go through every open tab, every bookmark, every folder, close what's done, update what's changed. This isn't extra work piled on top of your work. This is the thing that keeps the whole system from turning back into a 1,000-tab nightmare in 3 weeks. Skip the weekly cleanup, and congratulations, you're back to running 14 versions of the same spreadsheet and wondering why your computer's on fire. And here's the actual payoff, the reason any of this matters. Once the tabs are out of your head, you get to just work. Pick one tab, one task. Close everything else mentally, because you already know it's saved somewhere safe. You're not ignoring the other 999 tabs. You just trust they're not going anywhere without you. That trust is the whole game. Most people don't struggle with tasks. They struggle with the low-grade panic of, am I forgetting something? The second that panic disappears, you're not more disciplined, you're not smarter, you're just finally using your brain for the one thing it's actually good at thinking, instead of the one thing it's terrible at, which is being a filing cabinet with feelings. So no, the goal was never to remember more. The goal was to close the tabs on purpose before the whole system crashes and does it for you.